Okay, friends, we'd like to get started. We're just a couple minutes past, but these senators have to get back up to the Senate floor. So the first person I will introduce to you, who will welcome everyone, is Senator Dalen Leach, Montgomery County. And I have to tell you, in introducing Dalen, that I've known him for a very long time. He and his mother were two of my best campaign volunteers, won all three terms for the Senate way back in the dark ages when he was just a little guy. So he's a little bit bigger now, but he's carrying on the tradition that we set for each other at that point. Dalen,
thank you.
You bet.
Thank you so much, Roy. It's good to be with all of you today. Thank you so much for being here. I know this is a cheap applause line, but I just want to say you're looking at one of the few vegetarian legislators you're going to find. So there you go. Yeah. That's. We just want to brag a little bit. We've had some success the last year, and it's important to talk about our success because our successes are largely due to your work, your hard work, and you should feel proud of yourself for being involved in these things. We passed a very good cost of care bill last year, which was signed into law by the governor. Thank you very much. A bill that I introduced that has not passed, but has had an effect, was a bill that banned bull hooks on the use of elephants in circuses, which Ringling Brothers just said was one of the things that contributed to their decision not to use elephants anymore in their circus act. So that is a victory. Tomorrow, if anyone wants to stay here overnight, and you're welcome to do that, okay, right in this room, just stretch out. People do it all the time. Nothing weird about it at all. But if you want to do that, tomorrow we are running our bill banning the sale of shark fins in Pennsylvania in the committee. So hopefully that'll pass tomorrow. And one more bill I'm pushing is, after the success of the bullhook bill, I introduced legislation that said, why are we having wild animals in circuses at all? Why are we having animals that spend 23 hours a day in a cage waiting for the opportunity to stand on a tub wearing a hat, okay, with the use of electric prods and things like that to force them to do that? Why are we doing that at all? Let's ban that practice entirely. You know, circuses can be better without that. You still have your trapeze artists, your clowns. I mean, clowns are a little creepy, but the trapeze artists are awesome. And now we have Cirque du Soleil, if you've seen that, where we do human tricks, which are even more exciting than the animal tricks, and then everyone is happy. So hopefully we'll be able to move that bill soon. So all I can say to all of you here gathered today is thank you so much for your work. Please keep it up. There are very important animal rights issues and animal welfare issues that we still need to deal with. And I look forward to working with you on all of them. And with that, I believe I turn it back over to Senator Offlerbach. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dale. First of all, do we have Donna Testatori in the room? Donna has not yet arrived.
I think she has some appointments.
Oh, I see. She had some appointments. All right, because we want to get her up on the stage as well, and you'll know why in just a moment or two. First of all, let me say to you that as I've just shared with you my story about Dalen and I going back some years, back in the mid-'90s, I was the first senator to introduce into the Senate a bill to ban the pigeon shoots in Pennsylvania. Yeah. We never were able to get that bill through during my tenure. However, the present senator from the 16th district, the same district that I held, the same district in which Dalen Leach came of age, Senator Pat Brown continued with attempting to finally end these shoots and brought it to fruition in the Senate last year, guiding the bill to final passage through the Senate with 36 votes, far more than people were expecting from everything we had been told by its opponents. But for the first time, that bill actually passed the Senate and went to the House of Representatives, where we had hoped to get a vote on it, but unfortunately, that didn't happen. That could not have happened, however, without folks such as yourself back home helping to push this kind of legislation. And that's not the only important bill, incidentally. We're not providing a Legislator of the Year award simply on the basis of one bill. We're providing that kind of an award because Senator Pat Brown has stood with us on all of the animal bills that have come before the Senate, that have come from the House to the Senate. Every time we needed a friend to help guide those bills to passage through the Senate Majority Caucus, Pat was there to be able to help us do that. And that, yes, give him a hand. And so, as Senator Leach already mentioned, we had the cost of care bill signed into law. We had the bill to ban pigeon shoots passed through the Senate last year. There was a bill that came from the House over to the Senate that will do away with the paraphernalia for fighting birds and fighting dogs and so on that you've heard about earlier this morning. And Pat is helping us guide that to final passage in the Senate. You'll have the tethering bill coming up that our friend Senator Rich Alloway is introducing. You have these pieces of legislation all before us, and as I said earlier this morning, I came here in December of 1970. Not since that time has the first bill called to the first meeting of a committee been an animal bill until this year. And that's the puppy lemon law bill of Senator Greenleaf, a bill, again, that Senator Brown is helping us to move through the Senate and over to the House. So for all of these reasons, but most importantly, for the perseverance, the dedication, the willingness to stick to it in the face of adversity, the willingness to stick to it when many of his colleagues in his own caucus were telling him, Pat, why do you keep pushing this thing? It's never going to pass. Well, guess what? It did pass. And it passed because one man was willing to stick forth and make it happen. And for that reason, Pat, it's our pleasure to present to you, and Heidi Prescott, Vice President of the Humane Society of the United States, will be presenting you with the Humane Legislator of the Year Award for all of your efforts.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you, everybody. It's truly an honor to continue the legacy of my colleague, Senator Afflerbach, and to be recognized by an organization whose sole mission is to ensure that all Pennsylvanians have the proper respect and maintain the proper relationship with one of our state's most valuable resources, and that is our abundant but very precious wildlife. An organization with worldwide reach and significance, which ensures that we are always aware in everything we do, whether it is economic progress or sportsmen's activities, that none of this can be at the expense of a necessary level of restraint and balance in relation to the diverse animal life which shares our great Commonwealth with us. An organization would never take their mission lightly or for granted. When action is required to ensure that our state's animal life is protected against inhumane activities. Ladies and gentlemen, as you are aware, leadership in the Humane Society and many legislators, including Senator Afflerbach, for more than 2 decades, have identified an activity conducted in Pennsylvania which clearly breaches that balance. Trap and block shoots, regardless of the reasons given to legislators, reasons given to our constituents, are inhumane and do not reflect positively on Pennsylvania's position in the appropriate respect for our state's animal population. And notwithstanding the years of action and advocacy, which unfortunately fell short to advance legislative measures to prohibit this activity, the leaders and many tireless volunteers, all of you of the Humane Society, do not give up, do not relent, for to do so would be to step back and consent to what we all know, what a vast majority of Pennsylvanians know, is animal cruelty. This, of course, was and is today and in the future unacceptable. So with the strength of purpose which comes when right is on our side, the people of the Humane Society have carried forward and carried on. And it is for this reason and only this reason that success on behalf of the worthy mission saw tremendous success last term. Success with the passage of anti-trap and block shoot legislation in the Pennsylvania Senate for the first time by overwhelming numbers. I have been proud, along with my colleague, Senator Leach, and many of our colleagues, to have stood with you to achieve this important progress on behalf of all of Pennsylvanians who will always believe that animal protection is an important and necessary priority in the quality of life of all our citizens in Pennsylvania. However, in accepting this honor you are bestowing on me today, I do so not by celebrating the achievements of the past, but to pledge to continue the cause, to finish the job, so that Pennsylvania's legacy and its place in the protection of animals will be secure today and for all the days to come. And so on behalf of Senator Afflerbach's former constituents and my current constituents in the 16th Senatorial District, thank you and congratulations to all of you as you continue to act continue to advocate, continue to fight for the protection and dignity of all wildlife in the place we and our animal population call home, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Thank you very much.
As Senator Brown said to you, when you know you're right and you stand firm in that and you stand firm for what is right, good things happen. Not just the passage of legislation, but also personally. Senator Brown's colleagues have enough confidence in his being willing to stand where it is right to have elected him as the Assistant Majority Leader last session and Chairman of the Appropriations Committee this session. So you can move right up the leadership ladder just by standing for what's right. I also want to give credit to one of his key staff people who I pester probably more often than she would like, Vicki Wilkin. Vicki is in the back there. Vicki, come forward and raise your hand a little bit. Vicki is the attorney for Senator Brown who has helped us with the legislation. So thank you all very much. We're going to, again, invite everyone who is here, if you haven't already done so, to join us at Cafe Fresco for a debriefing, a little bit of a celebration, a little bit of intermingling, getting to know one another a little bit better. And if you happen to have something to eat and have something to drink at the same time, that's pretty doggone good too. So thanks for all your hard work today. Please keep it up. You can see the results of it. We need to keep moving forward. Thank you.